Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch the video about sinking of the Lusitania, and this was something, as somebody has told, this was a historic moment, not an historic moment. It was something that changed America, and these are something like we have got a list of something that they said that changed America. So we are going to watch more videos about it and learn more about it because we know the things that change India and we know a lot of things about the current America, but we don't know how America was formed and how everything happened with America and how each and every event changed America, because these kinds of major event also they take a turn in the country's life and they make sure that the people and the country get together and change, because this was something of sinking of a ship, and the only sinking of a ship that I know is of Titanic because there is a movie about it. Other than that, I don't know about this very much, so I'm very eager to know more about it and to learn more knowledge about it.
Same, I also want to know what happened basically. I don't have basically that much knowledge about it, and after googling about it I got to know that basically it was an event which occurred in around 1915 basically, and basically this event occurred only because of the political and intelligence failure, and there are a lot of events which also basically happened in India because of the political failure and the intelligence failure. So yeah, I'm so much excited to basically watch this video, and this video is going to be very informative and we're gonna get a lot of information from it, because personally I don't have that much knowledge about the history of the America. So yeah, for me this video is going to be very informative. So yeah, let's watch the video.
And also the thing is, this is the kind of event that forced America to go into the World War One. So we will have to see what was this and how this pushed America to go into World War One. So let's watch the video.
When I was a little kid, I'd heard of two ships, two ocean liners that had met with catastrophe. Now, one of them was the Titanic, who sank in 1912. But
Yes.
as for the other one, 100 years ago today, on May 7th, 1915, the passenger ship Lusitania was torpedoed and sunk by a German U-boat, sending
Ooh.
1,198 men, women, and children
Oh
to their
my
deaths.
God.
1200.
1198, around 1200. Sorry.
I'm Indy Nidell. This is The Great War. The big news last week was the landings at Gallipoli, which quickly descended into a slaughter on all sides: Turkish, Arab, Australian, British, French, and New Zealander. Tens of thousands of men were successfully landed, but the Ottomans remained in firm control of the straits. Further north, the Austro-Hungarian army was preparing for a new offensive with German guidance and support. The Germans had been thwarted in the west, and the Armenians in Van were still under siege. But there was a lot going on this week too, and for a change of pace, let's look at the USA to start the week. On May the 1st, New York newspapers published an ad sent them by the German embassy in Washington that read, quote, "Travelers intending to embark on the Atlantic voyage are reminded that a state of war exists between Germany and Great Britain. The zone of war includes the waters
so they
adjacent
gave
to the
an
British
ad.
Isles, and that ships flying the British flag are liable to destruction in those waters, and that travelers sailing do so at their own risk."
Oh my God.
This warning appeared next to an ad for the British Cunard Line's ship, the Lusitania, which set sail that day. The Lusitania was the fastest passenger ship in service across the Atlantic, a real luxury liner, much like the Titanic, and also much like the Titanic, did not have enough lifeboats in case of disaster. Actually, the Lusitania had 4 fewer than the Titanic. Thing is, this was a common practice, for it was expected that if you sank, it would be in the shipping lanes where you could get help. So the Lusitania set sail for Europe.
What?
On the night of May 6th and the morning of May 7th, ship's captain William Turner received 6 warnings from the British Admiralty about U-boat activity in the area that had sunk 2 British merchant ships without warning. Turner was advised to travel at full speed and make a zigzag course. Now, I've talked a bit about this before, but I'll say it again. A submarine had to surface to fire its torpedoes, and its surface speed was no match for a dreadnought or an ocean liner like Lusitania. So traveling at top speed in a zigzag course pretty much made it impossible for these ships to be sunk by a sub. Well, Turner didn't heed the advice. He had even dropped his speed and was traveling on a straight path. Now, sub U-20, the one that sunk the merchant ships a day earlier, spotted the cruiser Juno around noon on the 7th, but Juno was zigzagging at top speed. So U-20 gave up the chase, and about 90 minutes later, sighted the Lusitania off the southwest coast of Ireland. A single torpedo was fired, and the great liner sank in 18 minutes. Of roughly 2,000 passengers, 1,198 drowned. Of them, 128 or 124 or 114 were Americans, depending which source you believe. The sinking shocked America, but President Wilson refused to abandon neutrality. The Germans officially apologized, though many German papers wrote proudly of the sinking of enemies who bore responsibility for their own risk.
Oh my God.
Captain Turner, by the way, survived after being washed off the bridge. Former American President Theodore Roosevelt wrote a book arguing for rapid American rearmament and a huge naval construction program, and warned that what befell Antwerp and Brussels will surely someday befall New York, San Francisco, and may happen to many an inland city also, if the USA did not prepare for war. Later in the year, Germany would officially place passenger liners off limits for U-boats. But for right now, American public opinion was inflamed, and many Americans who had pushed for neutrality were now changing their minds. But while foreign opinion wasn't going so well for the Germans this week,
So I think we all have heard about the Titanic, but there are few people who heard about this ship, and I was and literally I was one of them who didn't heard about basically Lusitania, and literally I am feeling very sad about knowing all this stuff. Around 1,200 people basically died because of the politically failures, and obviously basically from the intelligence failures. So I'm feeling very bad for them, and basically it was very luxury ship, so most of the luxurious man used to travel from the ship, and because of the some some political conditions, basically common people have to suffer, and literally I do think obviously the government suffer, but mostly the common people do suffer, and this basically this incident was the example of this only. So I'm feeling so bad, and yeah, on the same side, I would like to see basically the movie, because you can't get that much information from the only 4-minute video, from which you get the information about 1 or 2 hour movie. So yeah, I want to see that too.
And actually the thing is, like, both the sinking of Titanic and Lusitania ship were kind of like because of, you can say, carelessness, because in Titanic also we saw the main captain got a message, or somewhere he got a message that there are some big icebergs and he should be like aware of it, but he you can say he was very careless about it, and he said okay, I'll take care of it. And even this captain also was given very clear orders that okay, there are, and there was an ad before given by the Germans only, that okay, we will do that and we will attack if anybody comes into Pacific. And also the other thing was, like, when the ship was sailing, they said, they gave him a specific order, go zigzag, and also try to be as fast as possible, but he ignored both of it. He was even driving slow, and also he was making sure he was going into a straight path. Why was he doing that? We don't know. And the thing is, he was, in the end, his life was saved, but 1,200 people lost their lives. So that was very sad to hear. And also the thing was, this was a thing that was like pushing Americans towards the war, because it was like every American now had, like, they were very neutral at first, as he was saying, like they were very neutral about the war. They were like, okay, we should not choose this path or that path, but after this they were like, okay, now we are anti-Germans and we have to go for it. And I think so this might be that push that gave them to join the war, because if public is angry, then also the president and all the like people in power have to be angry about it. But this was very sad to hear, like, what happens in those wars, because we normally hear the stories about soldiers, but also that people will also suffer, and people also suffer, like if they are going into somewhere and they get attacked by a boat, and German boats. And also the thing was, German people were sad about it, but he also said there were also many German people who were very happy about it, and they were said like, okay, if you are enemy, then you will face all of this. So it was very sad to see this and sad to watch this. How did you guys find this video? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.